Welcome, everyone, to this next episode of Dungeon Hunters. This is our third episode, and this is my cast of players. I'm Trevor. I will be your DM this evening. I am a little bit sick. I do apologize. I also feel like I can't really hear myself, and I know my headset is working, but it's just that unfortunate cold that I have. But yeah, I'm Trevor. I will be your DM. If everybody would like to go through and introduce themselves and the character that they are playing, and whatever shout-outs you would like to do, I'd like to get that done as quick as possible so that we can hop right into the action. Whoever would like to start.
I'm Michael, and I'm playing Martin.
Beautiful.
I'm Ray, playing Demir Galdon, and I like to party.
And I like to party. I know for a fact you've never partied before.
John.
I'm playing Benjamin Gremwald.
I was about to say, oh, I can't read, dude. I'm sorry.
Benjamin Gremwald. I'm a level 5 barbarian. My max is 55 health points.
55
Wait,
health points.
did we-
Slash.
The face you just made looks like
Did we
Kevin
level
from
up?
The Office. Like
You
when
did
he's
not
proud of
level up.
himself.
How the fuck does he have so much HP? Holy shit!
My
Probably
God.
variant human went with the tough feet more than likely. And that's D&D. And that's D&D for you. I've been playing it long enough. As soon as I said it, John's like,
Shit.
I thought we said no metagaming.
that's
What's up,
not
guys?
metagaming. Go ahead.
I'm Buddy. I'm playing Nico. I will be having a lot of fun. I'll be rolling with Die Hard Dice today. The good friends over at Die Hard Dice. I won their contest. They sent me a fucking really awesome little care package and bundle for winning the prize. Check them out if you guys want some new dice. Yes, this is an ad. Yes, this is a plug. No, they did not pay me to say that. But yeah.
I mean, Die Hard Dice, if you're listening, and we know that you are, give us a shout, you know?
Die Hard Dice makes my die hard, if you know what I'm saying.
And there goes our sponsorship.
The Dungeon Hunters promise.
It's the Dungeon Hunters promise.
It came and went just like I did.
That's the Dungeon Hunter's promise.
Also, apologies if my mic is picking up other stuff. Because I'm kind of under the weather, I will be muting my mic because I will be coughing and all of that. Did we get through all of our introductions yet?
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm playing Macho Man Randy Savage.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, brother. Now let's see. We're going down to Harmont Capital, baby. We're gonna put the fucking hurt on the Galgilian horde.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like I've done so good with this world building. I'm so proud because, like, when people are like, the Galgilian Horde, I'm like, it sounds so sick. Like, it sounds like somebody would be like, oh, dude, that's a sick Galgilian Horde t-shirt. And it's just like a horde of goblins just, like, stabbing people with spears. I don't know. I think
Hear me out. Hear me out. Oh my gosh, that is an awesome Galgilian Horde dice set. Brought to you by Die Hard Dice. And Dungeon
There it
Hunters.
is. Yeah.
Hit us up.
And it's just nasty green and black and blech. I love
Hit
it.
us up.
Very stoked, very stoked. I'm also wearing a shirt from Youth X Energy on Instagram. It is the Hook shirt. I said to him that I would give a little shout out because I enjoyed the shirts. And also make sure to, check out Mana Bomb when they drop their new shirts, Mike. And check out all the podcasts that everybody is involved with. My commands that I have on my Stream Deck, due to it being on YouTube and me not transferring all the stuff over to Nightbot or whatnot, none of my commands are working on my Stream Deck, but that's okay, because we're going to have fun. The last we left our party, they had traveled to Doncaster to warn Duke Auden Ray that there was a sacking of Midbrook, the destruction of the small hamlet in which they lived that was north just by the border of the Greyfolds and Harmont Kingdom, and where they intersected. And due to this sacking of Midbrook, the Galgilian horde had teamed up with different clans from the Greyfolds that are humans. This is the first time it had happened, and it is a significant threat to the realm, especially the Kingdom of Harmont. So they are now evacuating refugees and trying to get to Harmont proper, holding on to a letter from Sir Eghorn that is giving some dire news to which the parties are unaware of due to the laws regarding opening parchments made for the king. In doing so, they are loyal to the crown, and they are taking it all the way to Harmont Capital to King Galrenon, or as the people know him, King Agarwain the Bloodstained. So, where we left off was we were in Doncaster. There was a small reunion with Waltz and his former duke, in which he served under. It was a beautiful reunion. It was fun. It was a jaunt, if you will, and there was a lot of things discussed. We had left Nico, had seen Benjamin Grimwald riding up, and so now I want to open it up to you guys. Where we start? Do you guys want to start right off the bat at the night, or do we want to start in the morning proper? Whatever you guys would like to do.
I would like to go and speak with Sir Ulrich.
Before we do that, teacher, were we gonna roll initiative now?
Sorry, yes. Also, I have to be, never mind. I brought my bag in. At first I was like, oh my god, I left my bag and my notes and everything in my car. But that is not true. I have all of my stuff here. Let me just get my dice all together. I should have done this before. I apologize so much. That is my fault.
19. Bug.
What's everybody got? What's your totals?
I got a 23.
21.
Buddy, what's your total? For 19?
7.
I got a 13.
Okay, so it'll go Mike and
20.
then Ray. I got a 20. And then Michael.
Speedy Gonzalez tonight.
Buddy.
And then Buddy will go last.
Okay. Well, this is what I get for cleaning my room before stream and forgetting where I put things. That's horrible.
I just want to let you guys know Trevor's room was spotless.
Yeah.
When I came and stayed the weekend.
I've been doing my
I just
best
want to
keep
know.
it
I want to
clean.
let you guys know that I got to hug Fernie and I tackled him. It was really great. I got to hug Austin and Trevor and everybody. And John was in the shower without me. And then when he walked out, and we hugged for the first time ever,
That wasn't a hug.
we held each other.
Embraced.
We held each other, and I cried. I literally cried. It was so. You guys have
Now-
no. I'm so
Now
happy we didn't
now
share
I'm
that
just
with you.
waiting to embrace Mike.
Did you just
And embrace
choke
Ray.
slam your girlfriend?
Yes, I just choke slammed my girlfriend.
She probably deserved
Time to
it.
play the game. She doesn't want what Macho Man's putting down, brother.
Okay.
She must be fluent in judo because I saw that judo job.
Yeah, dude, she's got a fucking black belt.
All right.
Looks like she's got a black belt and getting her ass handed to her.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We taught her
okay.
wrong on purpose.
On purpose?
When we finally get to
on
hug Mike,
purpose.
though, it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah, when I get to hug Mike and Ray, that'll
Oh,
be the
dude.
that'll be the alignment of the planets.
The
when-
alignment of the
I'm not shit my pants.
The moment we embrace, dude,
I almost did when Buddy hugged me.
Get this feeling, and every time we kiss, I swear I can fly. That's just gonna be playing at
Dude.
loudly.
Before we continue, I almost got fucking bodied by a 4-year-old today.
Huh?
Not something I would admit in front of.
I was like, that's a weird
anyone.
thing to brag about on the internet. All right.
No,
I almost
fucking
got my
this
ass
kid-
kicked by a fucking toddler.
Dude, no, he ran full speed right into my face.
Oh, you want to know what happens then?
Forehead right into my mouth.
You want to know what happens then?
Yeah, show us, John.
Okay. I'm like here, and Orio's coming. And I just
Yeah.
level his
And that's that style bender knee right there. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
the Dungeon Hunter's promise.
And that's the Dungeon Hunter's promise. I'd pick him up by his little fucking ears, okay? And I'd
He
jump
was in a Batman suit.
mid-air. As I'm still rising, I would bring him down to meet my rising me.
Okay.
Or you just
Sorry.
sit bolt on him.
Sorry that
Like they said in
I,
that one The Story So Far song, you know?
Oh, jeez. I also
Not bad.
have your guys' stuff right here for our Saturday campaign. D&D Beyond released this cool little app on its little
Yeah,
app
months
that
ago.
you can get. No, this is new, right? So that's fine.
I've been using it.
It's old.
Been using it. I beta tested it,
Yeah.
and then I used it when it came
Yeah,
out.
I'm talking about the feature, right? Right.
What feature?
That's been a thing.
I just want to point
This
out
feature for the DMs where I can see my campaigns and I can see all your passive perception scores. That just released in last month's hotfix.
Oh.
But thank you for letting me finish.
I'm
Right?
gonna look it up.
D&D doesn't let me see my character sheet.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna let you finish
John,
one first.
you can never be wrong, dude.
Do it. And that's the thing. I wasn't talking about the app, but John just wants to sit and argue with me. I would like to get to the game. Look at him. He's opening multiple screens on different displays.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
I'm not
What did
doing
you
this.
say?
Let's get into the game.
John?
Oh, God.
John.
I don't know why we're taking up game time doing this, but let's go. Yeah, it's
Because-
not even. We're not even doing anything.
Oh my god.
He's hacking into the
wrong.
mainframe. You're right.
I'm in.
He doesn't
I'm in.
check
You're wrong.
anything. You're wrong. I just checked.
Well, I turned off the stream, so I looked it up after that.
Okay.
Okay. Michael in chat says, "Let's fucking go."
Michael.
Proving
What's
Trevor
up,
wrong.
dog?
Let's fucking go.
Well, Michael in game says, "Let's continue stalling."
Okay.
No,
So
Michael.
I didn't say that.
I said that. My name's
Weird,
not.
you're not Michael.
Well, he's not Michael
Okay.
either. He's Fernie.
So
Pretty much the same.
Go ahead, Trevor.
with that being said, you wanted to speak to Sir Ulrich.
Yes.
Okay. So are you going back to the keep proper?
Yes.
Okay. As you walk in, you see Sir Ulrich Ray. Let's also establish, are we doing the night before, or are we just going right into the morning?
I wanted to do it before I go to bed.
Okay. So this is the night before you go to bed, before you leave in the morning heading for Harmont proper. And as you walk in, you can see that Sir Ulrich Ray has taken off his armor and is now wearing like a nice tunic. He's got a white undershirt. It's a little bit dirty as you see him putting on his over garments of his tunic, and you see it's a royal blue with like white trim on the sides, and the sleeves go to about here, and then underneath you see his undergarment of his shirt that kind of puffs out to the side a bit and just puffs right to the wrist. And you see he just kind of looks over at you and puts a like emblem of Lathander that is hanging from a golden chain over his neck. He looks towards you and he says, "What can I do for you?"
Do you have a moment? I wish to speak with you about something.
"Let us sit. We will partake in ale. You
don't
see,
have
he
to tell
kind
me
of
twice.
holds his hand up, and a servant comes by with 2 tankards of ale. He puts it down, and he says, "Speak what is on your mind, friend."
It may not be much of a, and I hope that this stays. I hope that this conversation is between us in confidence.
Depends on what you say. You cannot hold me to that promise.
If it does not need to go to the Duke, I would like it to stay between us. I will let you make that decision, of course.
You may speak candidly.
So it is not a secret that I was once a soldier of Harmont. I do have some information that I would like to give to you once we do make it to Harmont, and with a further conversation with some of my associates. But I just ask as a favor to you, and I grab my maul and say, "This is a relic from a previous life, and I would like to relinquish that, maybe for something new, if you don't mind."
What is it you're after?
Or something sturdy, sharp, balanced.
You wish for a long sword.
Great sword if you have one.
Come! And you see this servant kind of comes over and looks to be like his squire, in the same kind of low garb, but in the similar fashion of his. He kind of whispers and he says, "Make haste." A few minutes walks by, or goes by, and he kind of looks towards you and says, "I will share that I am displeased that my uncle will not have us ride out to meet them."
It's fair. Your expertise is on the battlefield. Your uncle knows that, but he also knows that your life is far more important than a quick battle. I've
Yes.
seen the eyes of the Gargilian horde. Their numbers are stronger, their numbers are larger now than ever. Believe me when I say this, him halting you, my liege, is a blessing.
You are not the only one to fight against the Gargilian horde. I have made ranks, and I've been on the front line. I do worry about what my father will say once he meets with the king. My uncle is... he's a man of the people, and that has its merits. As he says that, the squire brings a great sword. He takes it. He says, "Here, for my own armory. I
Thank
will
you,
take your
Uncle.
maul."
And I hand it over.
He takes it and he says, "Give that to a soldier." You see, he says, "Of course." And he says, "I do wish to ask, why do you relinquish this weapon from an ancient time? Is this an ancient time in your time? Your
Yes.
history?"
It's a relic from a broken man. And I'm on a path of something new.
Well,
Something like a change in season, if you will.
may your season bring warmth. May the light of Lathander look upon you.
And you.
You see the Duke kind of, at this point, comes back in with Waltz from the balcony. He goes, Are you drinking in my halls without me? Nay, this will not do. More ale! And you guys begin to descend. And we will leave
Waltz.
Demir and Waltz.
Buddy, you've got inspiration.
Shout out, Michael. I love you.
And that
And just so we're
means
clear now, that just adds the d6. It's the same as we did in
1d6.
person. And if you get multiple, you just stack to the next dice.
Yes. Also, those are the only dice that can explode in this campaign.
The
The inspiration dice.
So if you get
So
an
if you roll a
inspiration, you
d6 and
use
it's a 6, you add the 6 to your roll and then keep rolling it until it's done.
Can I just add that 6 to my initiative roll?
What's that?
Can I add it to my initiative roll?
I would say no.
I don't know if you'd really want to. You probably won't get any higher realistically. Because Michael, what did you roll?
14.
Yeah, you would have to.
You'd
You would
still be
have
12.
to explode.
That's
get
fine.
any higher.
I'm more worried about whatever Trevor has. Well, you just fit it in anyway.
I fit him in
Yeah,
narratively. Yeah.
Never mind. Then I shall retcon my asking, sire, my liege.
Thank you, my lord. And Demir and Waltz, you guys are there. If you would like to have a moment of roleplay. If not, we will move on to others.
Are you saying something?
Yeah, I just kind of come down and join them and just say, long night for you as well, I see.
He is too. And just continue drinking. Oh, and I as the Duke was walking down, I look at Sir Ulrich and lean in and I say, I will have something for you once we reach Harmont.
He says, I look forward to our conversation then. Uncle, let us drink and celebrate. To a new dawn.
To a new dawn.
A new season, if you will. You see the Duke goes, the season is cold. It snows outside. My bullocks are freezing. They're shrinking up into my hips. But to your new season. Waltz, is there anything that you are doing at this time?
I'm just kind of just sitting with them, like taking in being what I would consider a home for like the last time, what feels like the last time for a long time. And in the back of my mind, well, not in the back of my mind, just like in a low voice, and loud enough for the Duke to hear, I just say, hopefully this brings me closer to you.
You see, he kind of looks to the right at you. He says, keep it down, Waltz. This ale. Christ. I mean, gods. I mean, I coughed myself into another plane of existence. I saw a man on a wooden tee. Anyways. And we will go to Martin. What are you doing
When
at
we
this time?
ended last time, I was with Mendardus at the healer's area. And I was helping her move stuff.
Yes.
So that's where I'd be right now.
Okay. She kind of looks towards you and she goes, so, you mean to help us with the refugees going to Harmont proper? To the capital?
Yeah, I think we might go before you. But there's a little bit of a pressing issue we have to take care of. On top of helping everyone.
Well then, I do not have anything else for you to do here, as you have helped me with the supplies and the goods and putting them onto the wagon. If you want to proceed and find your companions, I will not be bothered.
It's good meeting you.
Good
I'll just
meeting you
kinda
as well.
Turn and leave. And then I remember last session, Demir wanted me to meet him at the tavern.
Okay.
I'm walking towards there.
So you are heading to the Cavalier?
Yeah.
Okay. And at this time, we will switch to Benjamin Grimwald and Nico on the outskirts of the city. Or this town, I should say. This manor in Hamlet. Take it away.
As I see this towering figure like walking towards me on his horse, I want to immediately leave the guard that I was conversing with, and I just want to run forward. Benjamin! Ugh, stopping just shy of his horse. You made it.
Yeah, I rear my horse back, and I say, "Does this surprise you, Nico?"
I don't know. It looked like you really needed my help last time distracting, and I was kind of worried that without me there to distract your enemies, you wouldn't make it out in one piece. And I want to kind of look around and inspect him, make sure he's healthy. Looks like you looked
down
up
off
this
my
time.
horse. Yeah, I slide down off my horse and I say, "This is not how I remember it. If I remember correctly, I told you to leave the room."
I'd like to kind of jump up on top of him a little bit as he towers on me, kind of into his arms, grabbing his head a little bit and inspecting. Oh man, you must have hit your head pretty hard then, huh?
I begin swatting at him, trying to swat him off. And I say, "If you do not quit this persistent messing around, I will hit your head very hard."
All right.
Can I grab him? And
Yeah, I would say you grab him by the
I just
shirt.
want to grab him, and I just want to throw him.
You just kind of tumble off and regain onto your feet, Nico, as you're dexterous.
All right. You don't have to be all tough guy. I get it. I'm glad you're okay.
I am fine. With nothing, I am a bit tired. Although I could use a drink more than I can use a nap. And I start walking into the town.
Okay. So we'll say you guys kind of go into the town proper, into the tavern.
Yes.
Okay. Opening into the tavern, you see that it is crowded with people, and you see a small one-story tavern that seems to be themed after King Agarwain's famous Tournament of Champions. You see a human that is up at the bar proper, pouring drinks. You see he's got kind of a shaggy-looking hair in a long goatee, and he kind of sits and says, "Come on in, don't forget to close the door."
I duck into the door and I close it behind Nico.
Okay. You can hear people are kind of in there having one last night of celebration for the harvest as the festival was canceled, and so they're just trying to enjoy their night as it is.
I take in a deep breath. You know, I said we wanted just a drink. But some meat sounds nice too, doesn't it? And I would like to signal to the bartender. 2 ales and some chicken and some bread. Enough for both of us.
All right. We've got the Headless Rider, our very own spiced ale for 4 copper pieces each. So that'll be 8 copper. And then for the meals itself, it'll be about 2 copper each.
I say, whatever you think, when you look at me size proportion for the food, make twice as much. And I set 2 silver on the table.
Damn it.
You see
I would
he
like
takes
to
his-
slide his 2 silver back to him and just set a gold on the table and be like, I got this one.
You see he takes
I
the
pick
gold
up
and
my
he goes,
silver, I put it away.
he goes, "Thank you very kindly." And he begins to make your plates, puts them onto the table, and then pours this ale and sets it down. You see that this is like a spiced apple toddy ale almost, and it's served warm. like it is heated with prestidigitation as you see his hand kind of wave over it. Then he hands it to you.
Is it bubbling or is it just steaming?
It's just steaming. You see most people are drinking this ale. And he says, "If that doesn't work to your fancy, I can get you a Brightburn Stout from the Stout Masters of Goldspark. Those are 3 copper pieces each. You just let me know with the gold that you have given me. Next round is on me."
Thank you, barkeep. And I'd like to turn to Benjamin.
Yeah, I just stand there and I look at him and I say, I'll have 2 of your stouts.
He goes, "All right then." And he pours them, sits them down. You see that it's like a dark ale, like a very dark stout, and the top of it has like a cream finish on it, akin to like if you were to open a Guinness and pour it into a cup, that foamy finish at the top. And you see he kind of takes this small little spice and just kind of puts it around the rim, and then hands it to you.
I just put my fingers inside the rim of each of the cups and pick about 3 and I say thank you. And I move to go to a table.
Okay, yeah, you absolutely do so. You go to the table, and at this point you see Dex is sitting with a bunch of dwarves, and they get up and they leave the tavern proper. He goes, "I'm going to catch up with y'all on the road. I need to make sure that Caleb gets taken care of."
So Caleb, take care of himself. I'm gonna miss him.
"I will."
Tell
You
Caleb
get
if he ruins my bread store, I will kill him.
I'll make sure he knows. Thanks, guys. And walks out with the dwarves.
I'd like to ease into my seat and kind of lean over and lower my voice and take a more solemn tone as I... I'm glad you made it. We're moving for Harmont. We gotta deliver this letter.
I kind of lean in conspiratorially and I say, do you forget that I was there when we made these plans?
No, I know. We just weren't sure you were gonna make it in time.
I say I will make it in time. I will make it in time.
I kind of like to look up at him a little bit and smile like Riley and be, well, I'm glad you proved to be a man of your word, Ben. I mean...
Go ahead, sorry.
I was like, you can't blame us for wondering, though. I mean, hey, you got your ass kicked.
I laugh. And I smack his back. And I say, and I say, I am nothing if not a man of my word. Sometimes this is a good thing, other time this is a bad thing.
Really hope Caleb doesn't ruin your bread store any more than you know he will.
And I get serious and I say, if he touch my store in the wrong way, I will watch the life leave his eyes. Anyway, let us drink. I have had a long ride.
At this time, Martin, you enter the tavern proper. And Demir
assuming
and Waltz, you can as well if you would like.
I'm assuming I see Benjamin just kind of hulking at a table,
Oh yeah,
so I just go.
hard to miss.
Yeah, I just go and pull out a chair and sit down and just kind of tap my hands on the table and just say, "Glad to see you."
Good to see you too. And I put my hand on his shoulder as I slide one of the stouts in front of him.
Oh. Cheers. Start drinking.
Okay. You guys begin drinking.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm walking into the tavern. Upon seeing Benjamin, I just yell from across the tavern, "Oh, better late than never!"
If you would like to look back at the note that I left Nico, I am exactly on time.
he gets a little touchy about, showing up.
Well, Benjamin, it's truly a pleasure that you did make it.
I put my hand up and I say, I wish I could say it was a pleasure myself. And then I laugh.
Huh.
I would say that I followed Waltz in.
Shaking hand.
Demir, you walk in and sit at the table with him.
And I slide the other stout over to Demir.
Man after my own heart.
Do I notice anything different about Demir?
Give me a perception check.
Would immediately say that I do not, because I have not looked at Demir physically, just like in his eyes when I am talking to him.
22.
22. Demir, does he notice anything different?
You notice a sword instead of a hammer.
I'd like to get up and walk around him a little bit. I see we're, and then I'd like to lower my voice. Getting into the spirit of things.
What with the
And
old and with the new.
I'd like to look at him kind of like questioningly, like, are you going to be okay?
I'll be fine. And just kind of, or I just nod.
I would kind of like to start smiling because I know that this is like really like a big deal that he's taken on this this sword and leaving something that was so important and such a big part of his how he presented himself and how he described himself behind. It does represent a fresh start for him, and that means a lot to my friend. Do that.
You see it. Also, when my thing lights up green, are you guys hearing any background noise or anything?
Oh, we're totally hearing back only the Sirenscape, nothing else.
So everything's fine?
Yeah.
Okay,
Don't
perfect. It's just because I take off the noise gate on Discord so that every sound that I make comes across, and I just didn't want it to bleed over. Okay, and so we'll continue. You see his sword. You see Demir. And Demir, are you still covering your armor with the cloak?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say that I'm just kind of like this.
Yeah.
Kind of got it up a little bit. It's cold.
Yeah. You guys see that the fireplace is currently having more wood put onto it. It is lighting this area. You see that candles and lanterns that hang over the posts over the bar and over the tables proper, just kind of by measly little hooks that are kind of embedded into the posts up top that hold the roof together, are the only light in this area except for the fireplace. So it is well lit just due to the fire, but most people are gathered over by the fireplace.
Gotcha.
And you can role play if you would like. We can decide to go to bed. It's all up to you. The campaign is in your hands.
Martin, these are for you, and I hand him 6 rations. Since
What?
you left yours at the cave entrance.
And I like to point at the rations. I was just about to tell you about that. So there was an ice troll, and I was pissing and I was away from them, and then he came and charged me, and I was like, oh fuck, and then I got hit, and then he talked him down, and then I'm starting to kind of get really, really, really excited as I'm talking about it. And then they had a conversation, and he didn't eat me, and that was really awesome. And then he didn't come back. But then a bunch of other ice trolls came in, and then
I grab him on the shoulder and I'm gonna say, "You're gonna hyperventilate. Breathe."
The medical
we did it
assistant
out,
coming through.
and they chased us, and then we there's the thing falling, and then we got to close it down, and then I got to punch the wall, and then it came down, closed the trap, and we escaped.
Oh, you guys slept on the floor of a cave.
Yeah.
What? That's what you get from
slept
that?
in a bed. It was comfy and warm. My back does not hurt.
That's good.
This bed was made of down. Feathers from geese, from ducks, from birds. Very plush.
Where did you get off
Where
to?
did you go?
Maybe I will tell you another time. And I say cheers.
Maybe
I
over a
think
drink
it-
sometime, friend.
I would like. Hold on.
So
Got
make
to
sure you
see.
add those 6 rations, Michael.
Okay. Perfect. In Demir, you hear some common folk over in the corner by the fireplace. You see a couple of them are going, well, are we going by the Moon Maiden's Road? Or Dagar's Reach? I'm unsure where the Duke intends for us to go. I mean, we have the legions, but we're going to need protection no matter where we go. You kind of hear this. In Waltz, those 2 places you would hear also, and you are familiar with them.
We're going for a direct route, man.
Quickest way there makes the most sense.
I'd say.
You guys would know that both of those routes are, one is through the Sordian Alps, which would be the Silver Maiden Road or the Moon Maiden Road, through the Sordian Alps heading southwest. It's rumored to have been blessed by Selene and brightened under the moonlight. Passage is bright but dangerous. The other pass that they're talking about is called Dagar's Reach, which is rumored to have rock guardians that make the pass slightly dangerous for many if they're caught in the fray of the elemental forces. So you see that those are 2, one kind of going through the mountain pass down to Harmont proper, and one going along the coast of the Luridian Sea.
Which one would any of us know which one would be the quickest?
Both of them are about equidistance. It's just depending on which path you want to take. Do you want to go through the mountains or along the coast? Just depending. With the brightness of the Moon Maiden Road or the Silver Maiden Road, there are sometimes bandits, other creatures that live in the Sordian Alps, whereas on the coast it is a huge cliffside to the right-hand side and to the left, the sheer end of the Sordian Alps mountain pass.
Okay, so
So it's basically just preference of where you all want to go.
is the mountain pass, is that which route is that?
That would be going southwest through the Sordian Alps. So picture yourself almost like in the middle. If we were akin to talk California, you guys are pretty much in like the Central Valley-ish. This would be moving towards the coast and then going down Dagar's Reach, or just going through the 5, if you will, and going all the way down through the Sordian Alps. If that puts it into perspective.
And that's
a
the
little
Silver Maiden.
bit. The Silver
Moon
Maiden
Maiden?
Road goes through the Sordian Alps. Dagar's Reach goes along the coast of the Luridian Sea.
Thank you.
Yes.
I think we should take. I think we should go through the mountains.
I would agree. I'm not trying to fall off any cliff sides anytime soon or deal with rock guardians.
And I don't want to walk through sand for miles.
That right there. Have you ever had sand? Gets everywhere.
I hate sand. Just gets everywhere. You hear a human kind of saying that in the side, kind of overhearing your conversation. He goes, I wish the Galgilian horde would come down. I would slaughter them like animals. Not just the men, but the women and children too. And he gets up and leaves the bar.
Why is he crying?
I, Anakin, son of Vestin, swear allegiance to the crown. And he leaves the tavern and slams the door.
What a strange man.
You should keep him away from the kids. Okay.
I finish my drink, and then I say, see you guys in the morning.
Sleep well, my friend.
Walk up to the barkeep and just say, I'll take a room.
You see the barkeep goes, No need to pay. We're all getting back, packed up and leaving in the morning, so feel free to grab a room.
Thank you. Just kind of walk. Is it upstairs?
It would be upstairs. So there's like, it's a very small tavern. It's just a staircase going up this way over the top of the bar and then back up again towards the end of the bar. And then there's just about 6 rooms. It's a very small tavern / inn.
Okay, I'll take the first one on the left of the staircase at the top.
I'm passed out at the table.
Already?
Oh, yes. Yeah, dude, I'm like 150 pounds. Of course I'm passed out.
I put my arm around Nico's waist and I pick him up and I say, I will take Nico to bed and then I will get my own room. Hopefully they have an extra large.
Hey, Benjamin.
He's taking me to bed, huh?
And I give you back the letter. Take this.
I put it in my shirt and I nod my head and move off to the barkeep.
Okay. Barkeep kind of hands you a key to the room and he says, go on up. It's a skeleton key. Works on any of them.
Yeah, I do the same. Go to bed.
Okay. Waltz, what are you doing?
One kind of like gets up and leaves. I pull out the black book and begin to just kind of thumb through it
Okay.
and just like slowly whispering to myself these almost like in abyssal, these words that are almost indistinguishable to like the common tongue.
Okay.
And as I'm doing this, like my eyes kind of, my normally piercing blue eyes kind of flicker with like a bright green light for a moment.
I want you to give me an Arcana check and an investigation check.
Kana 16, investigation 23.
Okay. As you look upon this book, you're reading it, you were starting to see some spells that you could do to animate a corpse. And then, once per day, explode it into a bomb of concussive force. And the spell that you're researching is known as Corpse Bomb. You have not unlocked it yet, but you are on your way.
As I continue reading it, I kind of just like stop myself as I hear kind of these like strange whispers in like the back of my head almost. As soon as I hear them, I kind of just like very quickly just snap the book closed and just take like a deep breath and say, I must be careful. I must be careful. And I kind of get up and just nod at the barkeep and head upstairs. And as I enter the room, I just say, hopefully bringing me closer to you, all I lose is myself. I'll be happy.
You do so. You go
And
to sleep.
I enter the room and I trance.
Okay. So, you guys all are laying in your beds. You're woken up to the sound of rain as it's dribbling along the shackled roofs up top and dripping off the sides along the window panes as the wind has pushed the rain in. You all kind of awaken. It's early. The sun is yet to rise. You have 5 days of travel ahead of you. What would you like to do?
I'd like to make my way downstairs. Is the barkeep there, like, getting ready to, like, pack up all of this
Barkeep
stuff?
is packing all of his things.
All right. I'd like to approach the barkeep.
Did we get a long rest?
You do get a long rest, yes. And you see he kind of looks up at you and says, Good morning, young master.
Hi, how's it going?
It's going well. I'm sorry, in all the hustle and bustle of yesterday, I did not catch your name. I'm Theodric Kinsley.
I'd like to shake Theodric's hand, and I'm Nico, and I'd like to look around, and I'd like to buy a flask.
A flask? All right. Well, let me see what I've got. And you said you'd want to buy a flask, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Perfect. So he says, right, I can give you one for about 2 copper pieces.
And can we fill it with your strongest whiskey?
He goes, black powder. He kind of fills it up and he says, no charge. I have to leave it here behind anyways. Take
And then
it.
before I take, as I like hold it, I kind of like would like to stop and look into his eyes. And you can sure that this will make sure I fall asleep?
I'm sorry, what?
Never mind.
I
I'd like to take it
If you drink
and just-
enough of it.
And then walk away as he's saying this.
Have a good day. You leave. Who's next to awaken?
Wait him.
Okay.
I awakened, and then I grabbed my pack and walked down to the barkeep. And I put the key on the table.
Thank you, master. He puts it up on the wall. So, are you heading out today or tomorrow with the rest of us?
Oh, I do not believe. I do not believe that we have the time. I'm sorry.
Dreadful cold around here, going around these parts.
No, I inhaled my spit.
Would you like a second to collect yourself? I'm not going anywhere. I'm an
That is
NPC.
all right. I am okay. Now, I do have a question. Do you have jugs? Do you have growlers on hand that you may fill?
I do. I have a jug or pitchers, if you will, that I can, wooden pitchers with a metal inlay on the inside that I could cap off for you and nail shut for about 2 copper.
If I could have 4 of them filled with this stout.
Absolutely. You know how much that would cost. Take it out of your pack. And you see you.
So
and you want
demanding.
and you want him to fill the tankards?
Yeah, you said that was 2 copper.
A
piece.
piece, yeah. And you want 4?
I do.
8. Yeah, 8 copper. You see he kind of puts them up and says, there you go. As long as they stay shut, they're well preserved. Now, if you were to open them and begin sipping, you have about 24 hours before they start to sully themselves.
Do I look like the kind of man to sip on a pitcher of stout over 24 hours?
Well met.
Have a good journey. And I pick up my 4 stouts and I walk out.
Okay, you leave.
I'll get up next.
Okay, Demir, you go.
Do I smell any food?
You do not.
But he has 2 inspiration now.
Yes.
Love you, Mickey.
Then I'll just walk out and and just say to the barkeep, "Have a safe trip, my friend," and just
You
continue.
as well. You continue out, and you can see everyone's kind of outside. I would believe gathering your horses, putting your stuff on, or the ones who are awake, the 2, Nico and Benjamin.
Yeah, I'd just start preparing my horse.
You begin to do so. You see the Duke and Sir Ulrich are kind of riding down from the keep. Who would like to wake up next?
I
I'd laugh so hard if one of you was like, I don't. I die in my sleep. Peaceful. That's it. I had hag herpes, and it took my life. I just had no idea. Martin, you wake up.
I gather my things, put my stuff back on, and then I walk down the stairs, just kind of place the key on the counter and say, thanks. Hopefully I'll see you in Harmont. And I just keep walking. And I go outside.
You do so, and he goes, safe travels, my master.
You as well.
All right. You head out and begin doing your things. Waltz, you awaken.
Awaken, and I come down the stairs, not looking like rested, but not like really looking very well rested. I had like a troubled trance, I would say, and just kind of tired looking. I take like a look at the bartender and just say, safe travels to you all. Hopefully we can all come back home at some point.
You see, he looks at you and he goes, I certainly hope somebody. And he goes, are you all right?
Bit of a restless night, unfortunately. My mind weighs heavy on myself.
Sorry, my lord. Safe travels to you.
I kind of just nod at him, and as I leave the tavern, I'm just kind of like, what the fuck is going on?
As you turn to leave the tavern and you open the door, there is a shadowy figure that pops up as you... and then look, and there's nothing. As you... And he goes, are you sure you're all right, my lord?
I turn around and just say, just taking in home one last time.
Didn't know home was that frightful. You look like you've had a scare.
Yes, just worried about the things we're going to be facing eventually.
Understandable, my lord. Safe travels. Be well.
And you as well.
You head out and begin looking after your... Or actually, you have a magical horse.
Yeah, I just come out and I kind of just like summon my phantasmal horse.
And you see the Duke is now... He goes, it's fucking cold. I dread being up this early. Not even the gods are awake. You see Sir Ulrich in his full knightly attire is kind of riding down, and you see his helmet is clasped to the side of his belt as he kind of rides up. You see the pauldrons come up and make a neck guard that comes out to here, and on the side there are metal slates that kind of peek up on this way, and you see his helmet would fit right in between them, giving him max coverage over his head. As he just kind of rides up and he goes, good morning, boys. Uncle, it's not too late to command us to ride against the Gilgillian horde. And he goes, oh, shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Gods. Lathander curse you and strike you dead if you ever bring it up again. And you see he goes, some would consider that a crime of cursing against the gods. And he goes, well, I'm a duke, so shut the fuck up. And rides up to the lot of you and he says, don't listen to Sir Ulrich. Nobody's fighting the Galgillian horde today. We are fleeing because we are cowards, as Sir Ulrich reminded me graciously of last night. Isn't that right, Sir Ulrich? And he goes, I wish... And he goes, what did I tell you about speaking about again? Do not tempt me. I will have Lathander curse you down. You see Sir Ulrich just kind of bows his head and goes, I think he's still drunk from the night previous. And the Duke goes, and that, we all can agree. Have you decided which pass you're going to take, Waltz?
Yes, we have decided to not take the coast. We will be going through the Swordian Alps.
Very wise. I think we will be doing the same tomorrow evening. Go under the cover of night. Take the Moon Maiden's path. If you have enough guards and protection, bandits won't be an issue.
Not necessarily the bandits we're worried about.
What is it you're worried about? The gnolls? We've pushed them back north a bit. northeast, but back a bit.
I'm worried about an ambush.
Of the Galgilian horde, what makes you think they've made this much of a stride?
Who's to say they haven't? We saw bodies heading this way, remember? Scouting party.
Yes, I remember.
All I'm saying is, keep your eyes open. I'm not sure Ulrich can see out of that tin can he's wearing, so somebody has to.
See, Sir Ulrich just kind of looks at you and goes, all right, we're all just going to take crossbow shots at me today. That's fine.
Would you rather crossbow shots or a heat metal spell?
And you see, he goes, Waltz, never again. That's why I don't wear a codpiece anymore. Anyways, I'm going to summon the legions. Shah! And he rides back up, and the Duke goes, almost burnt off his member. I remember that. Oh, what a funny prank.
Yes, and that is why you do not mouth off to the court wizard.
I tried to tell him when he was a young boy, but he's stubborn, just like his father. I do look forward to seeing my brother again when we get to Harmont Capital.
I'm not really looking forward to going to Harmont. If I thought the politics here were below me, ooh, can't wait to get to the capital.
What's wrong? Are you afraid of the House of Galranon and the advisors of the Three Rings?
No,
I
I'm
am
afraid
one of them.
I'm afraid they may try to talk to me and I'll have to entertain them.
Yes, you never did get along with Duchess Valindra.
We will not say that name around me.
And you see he kind of chuckles and he says, well, I'll also have to deal with that fat fuck, Baron George Godfrey of Hannesburg. I despise him. I wish soon that he would find an early grave so that I could spit upon it.
Do I hear this?
You do.
I just want to loom over, just like darkly, and I say, who here speaks ill on the name of the bear? And I've got my big hammer in my hand.
You see he goes, I do.
Good. And I turn and I say that is a good stance to have. And I put my hammer, like I was just holding my hammer because I was going to put it into the cart. It does not fit comfortably on my back as I am riding.
Yeah.
So, and
You
I say,
see, yeah, go ahead.
I turn back and I say, in fact, most of the higher class of people I do not like, and I assume because of the way you speak, you think the same. What is your name? And I reach my arm out to shake his hand.
You see he reaches down and he goes, I'm Duke Auden Ray of Doncaster. And shakes your hand.
And I just hold on to it for a second and I say, Duke,
That's right.
unfortunate. For you, not for me. And
And you see he chuckles and he says, Waltz, I do like your friends. You see, Benjamin, I am not of the sorts of rich nobility. I've earned my place by being the brother of one. But I am one for the farmland.
Yeah, and I'm laughing as I turn and I take one of the pitchers of stout and I just with my bare hand and I rip off the top of it, the nails and all, and I push it into his chest, and then I rip another one open and I say, cheers. I wish you will drink with me, as that shows me you are truly a man, not just a duke.
I will have this drink with you. To the downfall of the Baron of Hannesburg, may that greedy fuck lie in an early grave, rotted away by vines and vermin. And slams it and drinks.
Yeah,
He goes,
and
"Oh,
I say,
hair
I
of
say
the dog.
yes. I say yes to the downfall of the hierarchy of a monarch. And I turn and I take a drink.
As you drink it, he goes, I'll let that slide. And drinks.
And I
As
say,
Waltz, you're kind of like,
I'm kind of just there, just like, oh, we are fucked. We are truly We are going to die in Harmont. Excellent.
Why are
What
my
a way
dogs
to
barking?
what a place to die, right?
I could think of no worse place.
That's what
Trevor,
I'm
do
thinking.
do I hear them talking about the Moon Maiden's Road?
You would have overheard it yesterday as they were talking freely at the table.
And am I familiar with the Moon Maiden's Road?
Give me a history check.
Okay. It's an 18 with my bonus of
Let's
-2,
Okay.
which makes
for your history.
which
16?
makes it a 16.
With the 16, you've heard of the Moon Maiden's Road. You know that all manners of creatures kind of inhabit the Sordian Alps. Depending on the weather, there are some frost giants that live in the mountain proper, but they really like to keep to themselves. They don't normally go out unless it's for necessity or hunting, and they usually keep to themselves. They're very good about keeping their distance, but you do know that there are other beings, cockatrices, that kind of roam around the woods, as well as possible manticores. Other than that, you haven't traveled that road. When you came to Harmont proper, you went across through Dagar's Reach, fleeing the Radiant Ones.
I'd like to pull my horse back and come alongside Martin and be like, Moon Maiden's Road. Do you think we're gonna see some manticores? I heard once that there's manticores there.
Maybe then. I don't want to fight one.
I don't know. I'd rather fight a manticore than another ice giant.
Well, I'd rather not fight at all. I'd rather this just be quick and easy to get to Harmont.
Oh, come on. You know that's not gonna happen. Moon Maiden's Road is supposed to be lit all the time. I mean, I hear people like ambush and robbers and all kinds of fun stuff there. I mean, we're gonna definitely get into a fight at least. What kind of a boring adventure would
Why
this
are
be?
you speaking this into existence?
That's called manifest, baby. Keep testing me.
Yeah, I look at him. I go, why are you speaking this into existence, man?
Nico, I think, is saying this out loud. You would all hear.
So I just go, Nico, do you not realize we have Benjamin on our side? That will scare off most bandits.
Well, I'd like to see the bandits that are stupid enough to go against us. Benjamin will beat him to death and then maybe get knocked on his back and I'll have to save him again. Huh, Benji?
Insight check.
I ignore this and I keep drinking.
You're just taking down this tankard. It actually would take you probably 2 gulps. You see the Duke says, well, let us reconvene at the Golden Ring. Yes, Waltz?
Sounds like a plan. And I reach out for a shake, and as he grabs my hand, I want to kind of just like pull him close.
He leans down from his horse.
Hearing voices.
Well, you always were a special one. I think you should probably see a doctor.
Not that kind of voice, you fucking clown.
All right. Do not insult me on my main stage of business here.
It's the book.
I told you to watch out for that book, Waltz. It twisted her mind as well. You know that. Do not be a fool.
My only chance. You saw what it let me do. That's only at the beginning. Once I translate the rest of these pages, who knows what it'll let me do.
You see, he kind of leans down to you and he says, you understand that once you cross the brink and you cannot return, I will have no choice but to report it to the king and you will be hunted. The Sword of Radiance strikes true, Waltz. Do not forget it.
The light cannot harm what it cannot find.
Then may you hide in the shadows, my friend.
And I kind of just give him like an embrace as much as I can. Just say
He kind of
and
grabs the back of your head and puts his forehead to
Yeah.
yours.
and then just kind of like at a normal volume, just say, "See you in Harmont, friend."
To me in Harmont, I drink again. And you see, he says, also, I sent one of my squires ahead of you. He will make his way to Harmont Capital. If all things go according to plan, you will have a place to rest at the Thatcher's Rest Inn.
Ooh, spared no expense, I see.
It's only in the brass, you fool. See, he goes, not an expensive mine. It's a couple of copper pieces. You see, he kind of turns his horse and he goes, all right, get off of my land. You are sullying it with your bullshit. Yeah! And just kind of rides back.
Well, my friends, I believe our journey continues.
Owie.
The quicker we get there, the better.
Yeah.
Just kind of start making my horse trot.
Okay. You guys begin riding,
Yeah,
going
we do.
through the
That
Swordian
is
Alps. Yeah, there's that horse trot, baby! There's that goddamn horse trot! Come on.
And that's the Dungeon Hunter's promise.
Benjamin, I want to see how you trot on this horse. Give us a good little... So, there it is. Beautiful. You love that.
Horse has a limp.
My horses. So you guys kind of begin riding your horses. And as you do, I would like to know the marching order. Because I need certain roles. I need somebody at the front. I need a
Be in the rear.
navigator. What's that?
I'll be in the rear.
Okay. So you will be the utility. You can choose one person to have roll at advantage. So I need somebody to roll me, if they're at the front, a perception check. Somebody that's in the side, or the person at the front needs to roll me a survival check. The person behind them needs to roll me a perception check. Person behind them needs to roll an insight check. And then the person behind them, the last two, they are utility, so they can help somebody.
I was
I'd
next
say
to
that-
Martin. Where you at, Martin?
I kind of just took off first, so I'd probably be in front.
Okay. Give me a survival check. And are you helping him with that?
Me?
Yes.
I was beside him, like, kind of talking to him, so if I can aid in that survival check, then yes, I absolutely will.
Sure, you guys are kind of making the way down the Moon Maiden's Road.
I will take the second place.
Oops, I cocked that one. Alright, that is a 16 with my survival bonus of +2, so that is an 18 for the survival.
I rolled a 13.
Okay, you both are making your way, kind of riding in the front. Who is after those two?
7 for my perception check.
Okay.
I'll
You're just kind
You
of...
drunk, dog.
I'll assist him with that.
Okay, roll it at advantage for me, Benjamin.
Money, bitch. 7.
All right.
Can I
You
give
guys
him
are-
one of...
You guys are kind of moving through the way. And then the last roll. Waltz, are you kind of in the middle? You could do one of any skill that you would like. Perception check, investigation check, any sort of the like.
To do Arcana to see if I can just like in the air pick up like anything that's like not like legitimately like a humanoid person. Like if I can
Okay.
just sense any like weird magic in the air or anything like that.
Okay, give me an Arcana check.
That's 12.
12. There is an innate magic on this road. You can see as you guys are riding, the sun hasn't come out yet. It is raining. as you guys are kind of trotting along. And as you do so, the only arcane energy that you're picking up is that this has been divinely blessed, is a road, giving brightness. So you can see where the rumors kind of come from. Whether those rumors were started by, mages or people of divine faith to Selene, you're unsure. But you're definitely picking up that even though there is cloud coverage and the sun has not risen yet, there is adequate light to where even without dark vision, you would be able to see perfectly fine. You guys begin to trot along the way. As you do, you see that there are 2 large trees felled as you all kind of slow up to a halt. What would you like to do?
I'll hop off my horse and I will pull out my hand axe and start seeing if I can just start chopping away, get this out of the way.
Okay. Give me
If anybody would like to help me.
athletics check.
Athletics.
And somebody give me... Martin,
8.
I would like you to give me an investigation check. 8, you begin hacking away at the wood. These are pretty large trees, but you are hacking away at it.
That's a 16 investigation.
With a 16, you see that these trees, it doesn't look like they've been cut from somewhere else. The way that the bark looks, how it's bent, it looks like this is from the storm the other day has felled these trees. It doesn't look like there's any machinations or anything around these trees that have felled them or like some sort of ambush, but it is a block in the road and it seems to be from the storm front.
Okay. I'm gonna get off my horse and walk up to Demir as he's chopping, and I'm just gonna say, I'd help, but I have a bow and a rapier.
Well,
But,
you could take these pieces of wood after I cut them.
Yeah. And I start just kind of grabbing them. I say, it looks like it was naturally done, by the way. I think
Well,
the
that's
storm
cool.
dropped these things. I'm just kind of tossing the chunks of wood off the road.
Just then in the distance, Nico, you see a couple of horse riders are approaching. You see they're in cloaks, like almost just to get the rain off of them, and they're kind of riding up as you hear, "Hail! All
Like
good on
to,
the other end."
I'd like to kind of just like tuck my hand onto my darts and look to back to Demir and then at Benjamin, waiting for their response, as like almost like kind of letting them know that I saw them, and like just got my hands on my darts.
You see there's about 5 of these riders. They're all kind of approaching. You see the one in a cloak. You can see underneath this cloak as he approaches on the other side of these trees. You see there's branches kind of in between the likes of you. But he has what looks like dark navy blue gambeson. Almost like a sequined looking armor. It's like cloth on the outset, but you would know what a gambeson is. It's got these plates inlaid into the fabric, but the fabric is on the outside, the plates on the inside, and it allows for more mobility. And you see that most of them are wearing this, and then in the middle of them is a rider on a horse, and his cloak is over his head, and he is not really speaking, but they all look like maybe hired hands.
Any noticeable sigils or emblems on them?
I think you would see with your passive perception that I've clocked already, you would probably see that they have leather bands on the side, and they have 2 swords that are kind of marked like this. These would be like sell swords, honest working mercenaries, not bandits or anything of the like. And you see a couple of them get off of their horse, pull axes, hand axes off, and begin to help Demir from the other side. They begin hitting into it, and they say, "Storm's not as bad as it was the other day. You all doing all right? How's your rations?"
We just
I'd like
left.
to
Go ahead.
just ease myself off, like my my darts and like take a more relaxed stance. As like once I recognized their sigils and their marks and they started helping, and then just kind of like look back to Demir, like never, like letting him know like, oh, never mind, like kind of like I'm assuming like as I'm like closer to the front and my passive perception sees this, it all moves simultaneously, and then they call out and Demir starts interacting with them.
Demir, go ahead.
Yeah, we just left Doncaster. So if you're hoping to get some shelter there, it won't last long. They're making their way to Harmont.
You see, he goes, Doncaster's not a place we are going to stop. We're heading to the east, going up through the Sordian Alps. This is the way we were told. Isn't that right? And you see the cloaked figure just kind of nods. You see, he goes, do you have any means of helping us clear this? You see, he kind of pulls himself off of his horse, hands the reins to another sellsword as he holds it. You see, he removes the cloak, and he is shaved bald. You see a symbol that is tattooed on his right cheekbone or branded. At this point, you're not sure, but it is emanating light. And it looks like the pointed star of Harmont's sigil, as it is emblazoned onto his face. This is the symbol of Lathander. As you see, he kind of holds his hand out, and it begins to glow. And you see the rain coming down begins to steam off of his hand, as his entire hand glows like fire. And you see right in the middle of the road, these trees light and immediately turn to ash. As he
As I see this brand, I'd like to be a little unsettled and like kind of like
your hands grip around the reins of your horse and are tight. You see, he goes, that should do it. He puts his cloak back up, gets back onto his horse, and you see they ride past. As this figure in the cloak is staring straight ahead, and then begins to look at each of you. Moves his hand like this.
I'd like to not meet his gaze. I'd like to not meet his gaze and kind of just like...
You do so.
You say, light be with you.
You see, he kind of stops. May the light guide your path, friends. And begins to ride past. As you see the sellswords go, it's not often we get to travel with a radiant one. You see, he goes, enough, no more speaking. Let's make camp by nightfall. You see they ride away.
I'm gonna kind of turn to Demir and like kind of meet my gaze with Waltz also and go, the fuck is a radiant one?
There. Do I hear this, by the way? Sorry, before I play.
I think you
Yeah, I say it loud.
They're from where I'm from. Or near there. Fanatics.
You would know
really.
some of them are.
Yeah.
They're spread throughout Phaedron.
Yeah. Fanatics, really. And I just want to kind of like take off in the opposite direction.
The followers of Lathander. A bit extreme at sometimes, but nonetheless, they follow Lathander. That's what that brandish was.
Gotcha.
There has only been one time that my brothers and I have been turned away. It was one time that we were going to borrow for a time. And there was a radiant one posted there. We almost did not make it out. I did, of course. That is why I am here. riding next to you.
Hmm.
Now, I am still alive.
Glad for that, friend.
Yes,
But
you are.
they are not ones to mess with.
Yeah.
Do I hear this?
You do hear this.
Do I make any connections between Benjamin's figure and my knowledge of Radiant Ones?
In what way?
His scars?
No.
No? Okay.
Just from what Benjamin said, he's had a run-in with a Radiant one, and
Okay.
as big as he is, one of them held off Ravagers.
A party of 40 of us.
That immediately
intense.
signals to all of you, holy shit.
Well, I'm glad he's not against us right now. And then I saddle back up on my horse and trot past the trees he just disintegrated, kind of looking
begin
at
to
the
trot?
smoldering ash. Trot.
Do we trot, boys?
Get the trot music back on, boys! The trot begins. You guys go through. That was your encounter for the day. You guys reach through, and at this time, you go through the day traveling. I would like a survival check from whoever would like to make it, whoever's in the front, whoever's in the back, and whoever's in the direct middle.
Seven.
Rolled an 18. I don't know if you can see that. I can pick it up for you guys. So you see I'm not moving it.
9.
That is an 18 right there.
That's not the one you were.
Yeah.
There it is. Yeah.
There it is. See
You
it?
were showing us every other panel but the one that.
But
was
the 18. But
I'm
we
not
can see
moving it.
which one it was. Yeah.
See, like right there. So I'm not moving it, boys.
See the natural 20? It's right there. Flipping the dice to the natural 20 side. All right, and just for a warning, we have about 35 minutes before we're going to take our scheduled bathroom break.
Beautiful.
Face cam, Nico. So, what was the highest roll?
I rolled. So mine was a dirty 20 because I have a +2.
Okay, no worries. So, dirty 20, you kind of see off the path of the road a bit, just kind of into the darkness. There seems to be a nice little alcove with some jetted rocks above and like a large fallen tree that's buried itself into the earth, making a nice little hovel, if you will, that would protect you from the rain. You could start a fire and you guys could make camp there. And also, I would say the Duke has provided you, I believe you bought tents.
I bought I was the one who bought a 2-person tent.
Okay, perfect. And I would say that the Duke provided you, if we can retcon a bit, with some additional like canopies that you could possibly stake into the ground. Do you guys make camp?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So after a bit, you guys all kind of make camp, and I assume that from the wood that you guys have cut down, you have enough wood for the night that you've kind of brought along with you. You set and kind of have this fire going. The rain has kind of stopped. However, the mountain wind is kind of blowing the canopy. You guys light this fire. You have some time to yourselves before you rest.
Benjamin, tonight, when we take watch, will you do that with me?
If you feel you are in need of the assistance, I will take watch with you.
I just would like to speak to you privately later. I don't need help.
That also
But I much
is a
appreciate
good
it.
reason for me to assist you at night. Tonight.
I'd like to take my seat by Martin.
You do so.
It's kind of like cock my head at him a little bit.
What's up, Nico? What's on your mind?
Oh yeah. You're a doctor, right?
No, My medical assistant.
Okay, Doc. What's the best way to fall asleep?
In what sense? Like you just can't fall asleep?
When
You
I
have
need
insomnia?
to. When I need to. Like,
Like what? Like,
when my mind keeps me up, memories and shit.
yeah. I'm kind of gonna abruptly stand up and start. No.
Do I hear this?
I would say, as you guys are all kind of,
Yeah, we're just sitting
Around?
next to each other
Okay.
by the fire.
I
But
would leave
like
it up to Nico if he was.
Are
saying
you
this
trying to
quietly.
are you being quiet with him, or are you?
I'm
Here's-
definitely don't want you to know. No
Okay,
offense.
so
Yeah.
what I'll say is, if you came into it whispering and in a quiet tone, I would keep that tone.
Okay. Yes.
So is that how it was?
Not whispering,
Also-
but definitely between me and you.
Also,
Okay.
another thing, I know that everybody, in their campaigns has secrets. I have set DCs. Do not feel like you have to roll or deception checks against other people. Any secrets or anything that I've already set DCs in my head. The person doing insight check rolls will do it, and then I will tell you, what do you want them to have a sneak peek into if they beat the DC. I'm leaving it all up to characters. So I want you guys to have free agency. I don't want everything just being spilled out about your characters. With that being said, continue.
Yeah, I'm talking between the two, me and you.
Cool. So I would kind of just like look at you and just be like, so having trouble sleeping, kind of like in a investigative way, and then
Not
as
so
you
much
start,
sleeping as just I need a way of quieting my mind.
I would like to abruptly stand up and kind of start panning the landscape to see if there's any of the herbs around. My
Perfect.
herbalism
I would
kit.
like you to give me a nature check. DC of a 10. As you are looking for eldenberry. I would say nature or medicine, whichever one you want to do, since that's what you're looking for.
I will do medicine.
Okay.
That's a 21.
21. You kind of walk out from the brush, climb up over this tree a little bit, and you see that as you were making camp, you had spotted a small brush of these berries, and you pick a couple of them, and you take a small elixir from your herbalism kit, and you munch, or like you crunch.
I have a
down
mortar and
couple of
pestle.
these.
I have a mortar
Yeah.
and pestle with the herbalism kit.
So you begin to crush these berries, and you see the juices that are from it, and you take this and then you pour it into the elixir, and you shake it up a bit. You hand it to him. One drink of this, he'll be asleep.
Base cam.
Oh, thank you. I
I'd
hand
like
you
to-
the little bottle and I say, take a sip.
I'd
Should
like to
help you
take
out.
it and look at it. But, just for those times that my mind isn't, quiet.
Hey, you don't gotta explain yourself to me. I got my shit too.
Thanks, Martin. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then I want to look around and make sure Demir's not looking, and then I want to slide it into my coat pocket, and then I want to kind of pull out the flask. I'm like, for the other times I have this. Sometimes I need to make sure I'm sentient,
And I put my hand out for it. Take a sip.
Pass it to him.
I take a sip and I give it to him and I say, cheers.
It is strong dwarven whiskey.
Do I have to roll anything
No,
based off of prior experience?
no. One sip. Nobody gets fucked up after one little sip of whiskey. You're just kind of like, that's strong stuff.
Yeah, I'm trying to muscle through it with little tears wellowing in my eyes. I go,
You
cheers.
took a sip, but you're being so brave about it, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I just kind of sit back down and give him a little pat on the back. Just kind of sit there looking at the fire.
Okay. Anybody else want to do anything?
Yeah, well, everyone's having like their little talk around the fire. I'm kind of up against the back of this like canopy that we're under, and I'm just like thumbing through the black book, just casually muttering to myself in both abyssal and celestial as I'm reading through what I can in this book.
How far away are you? Just because I do speak Abyssal, I just need. If you're trying to keep this private, like we need to set how far away we are from each other.
He's
Speaking of
at
both
the far back. You're over by the fire.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would say
not
it's out
speaking.
of earshot. He's kind of like this.
Cool. I don't hear shit.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Especially with
I
the
don't-
rain and the fire.
Yeah.
And even if you could hear me, I'm speaking in both abyssal and celestial from
And
this book.
swapping
So
back.
yeah.
Beautiful.
Give me a wisdom saving throw.
23.
23. You're kind of
Die.
whispering it, and as you whisper the celestial, you hear. You see the shadows of your companions begins to move on their own. You begin to sweat. And you look at this book, and the pages begin to flip sporadically on their own. You're kind of seeing it, and before anybody can notice, you slam the book down, and you all notice that the fire immediately dissipates. As you kind of...
The hell, I was in the middle of warming up a ration.
And you see it begins to spark up with the embers and lights once more.
As the fire dissipated, I would like to jump up and draw my rapier, kind of at the ready.
You kind of jump up, and Waltz, you just kind of put this book into your satchel.
I put the book into my satchel, but like on my face, I'm visibly like I literally look like I just saw like a fucking ghost.
Okay.
Is that noticeable to everybody?
You guys are looking at the fire. But if you kind of are looking and checking amongst one another, Waltz, would they see this?
Oh yeah, I'm not even making like an effort to hide it. I'm like two
Okay.
in my own head right now. And I'm just kind of like,
Can I cast Divine Sense? I'm going to cast Divine Sense. Do I notice any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet of me?
You don't. But there's an air of uneasiness in an undead relic, but you can't pin it down, and then it fades. As you just kind of look
I'm going
around.
to keep it to myself. Yeah.
Okay. But you guys would all notice as you're checking on one another, Waltz looks pale. He's sweating a bit, and he's just kind of...
I'd like to approach and kind of crouch down. I'm assuming you're sitting down still, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to like slob squat next to you. Kind of just be like, "Are you good?"
I kind of, as he says, "Are you good?" I kind of like snap out of it, like just kind of like this like glazed over stare that I had, and I was just like, "Yes, I'm fine. I must admit I haven't traveled in a long time. I'm not necessarily used to being back on the road, as it were."
Look like you just came out of the hells.
I've not many people are a fan of the court wizard. I've heard that multiple times before, but I will be fine.
Well, I'm here if you need it. Kind of go and sit back down on my stump.
I'd like to get up and just hand him my flask.
To Waltz,
Waltz, yeah.
you do so.
I take the flask. I kind of just pop it open and take like a quick little smell. I'm assuming it like probably feels like it's burning off like, my
Burns.
fucking. I kind of just take that sniff, and I'm just like, and I just, for a moment, think about it. I take a quick little sip and pass it back to him.
You do as it.
We all have to have our ways to cope. We all have secrets.
I kind of smile at Nico as I pass back the flask. I just look at him and say, "Yes, we all have secrets. Some more than others. I'll take my leave for the evening. I'm quite exhausted." And I kind of just like hunker down at the back of this like little canopy that we're under, and I just whisper to myself, "I'll lose myself if it means getting closer to you."
And then you go to sleep. Or meditate.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing? Or do you go to bed and let Demir and Benjamin take first watch?
I was actually going to offer to take first watch. So, I'll take first watch, guys. Unless you guys already wanted to.
Yeah. Well, I'll get you up for second watch
Okay.
if you're cool with that.
I'm totally okay sleeping. I literally, like, when you offer it, I'm like, all right, and I go to sleep.
Nico
I walk
goes
to my horse first, though, and I grab, like, a rolled-up blanket. I kind of go and just drape it over Waltz's shoulders. And then I go and sit by the fire. Just kind of hang out, doing my first watch.
Okay, and Demir and Benjamin, you're going to sleep?
Yeah, we'll get up we'll do second watch.
Okay. Martin, I would like you to give me a perception check.
Oh. It's a 4 plus 4, so 8.
Okay. You're kind of vigilant for the first hour. Kind of looking around. Second hour comes by, uneventful. You see a couple of horses in the distance with riders traveling along the road. You can see probably some people from Doncaster getting an early start. Just kind of looking. Your watch ends uneventful.
Cool. I'll go over to where Demir's sleeping and kind of just rustle his shoulder. And then just go, "You're up, buddy."
All right. Now I'll wake up Benjamin.
At this time, it's probably around 10 p.m.
Okay.
So how long has it been since the first watch started?
First watch probably started around 7. So
Okay.
7, 8, 9, 10, about 3 hours.
Well, Ben, I'm glad that you made it back with us. I know that you had given the letter to Nico for me to have, and if I'm being quite honest with you, I'm not sure I want to give that to the king. That's why I gave it back to you at the tavern.
What would make you say this?
Let's just say I've had a previous life. King knows my face. Obviously not as it is now, but if I were clean shaven, he'd probably recognize me, if not even now. And it's a life that I've left behind. And I just don't know if I can face it right now.
If nothing, I can understand leaving your past behind. I will give it to the king myself.
I very much appreciate that. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk to you about.
Okay, and I just turn. I sit and I turn and just look out into the night.
Yeah, and I just go, Jackie?
I take it and I eat the jelly.
Okay. Both of you give me a perception check.
We're at our 10-minute warning, by the way, Trevor.
I know. I'm aware. Thank
Okay,
you for
I'm just letting you
reminding
know.
No. I'm sorry. I said that super. I was watching the dice roll, but yeah, I had just looked up and saw it. But thank you for reminding me. I need that.
13.
13.
22.
22. The watch goes by. You see a couple of bats hovering up in the trees. Then they just kind of fly off. You can hear a couple of snapping of twigs. You can see in the distance, just looks like about 6 deer. Mother and fawns. Making their way across the road. Your watch ends uneventful.
So, do you want me to wake you up once?
At this point, since it's been several hours, I'd be out of my trance and just ready to go at this
He's
point.
already long rested.
As I kind of see that you guys are nearing the end of your watch, I kind of just come up to you and just say, if you'd like a little bit of extra time to sleep, I'll relieve you now.
I appreciate that. And I go right back to sleep.
Benjamin, you go to sleep as well.
I do.
Waltz, give me a perception check for the final watch.
That's a 5.
Okay.
I don't see shit.
You're kind of sitting there. You begin to hear. You begin to see a shadowy figure in the flames. I do wish to have that book back. I do not wish for you to find her. Not in the slightest. She has work to do.
Just stare at this fire and just in celestial I say, she is not yours to take.
You think your celestial words have power over me? I am the undead king, servant of the Whispered One. I am not bound by your shackles, wizard. I am beyond. I am the after, and I am all that comes before.
Lovely. By the time I've read this book, you will be the pawn of a wizard, a mortal, bound to me eternally.
By the time you read that book, it will be far too late. I'll give her your regards. And the shadows return to normal. The fire does as well.
I kind of blink and like shake myself out of it and just let out like a deep sigh. Jilsana, where are you? Where are you? And I'm just like prodding and poking at the fire now with just like loose pieces of sticks that are just around it.
You take this kindling and begin to stoke the fire. Before you know it, the sun is coming up, breaching through the trees, light casting through. You all wake up. good rest. Do you all continue on? Okay.
Yes.
You all kind of wake up, get onto your horses. That's the gallop! I meant just the trot! My apologies, my lords. You guys...
Don't let it happen again.
No, thank you. And on that note, as you guys are getting up and beginning to ride for this day, we are going to take our bathroom break a couple minutes early. I want to give these guys a couple of minutes to themselves to eat a snack or do something like that. We will be right back. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. We're just going to take a quick bathroom break, and we will be right back.
I'm going pee.
And we are back. What's going on, everybody? We are hopping right back into where we were. Dom, what's going on? Area, hi. Hi, everybody. Mickey, thanks for joining us. Really happy that you guys are all here. We're going to pick up right where we left off. They had just made camp, and now they are proceeding with the rest of their 4-day adventure to Harmont Capital. So, you guys begin trotting off. I would like a survival check and a perception check. And two of you can assist one of those rolls, so roll it at advantage, whoever's going to roll it.
I'll be assisting.
Alright, I guess I'll roll the survival. That's a 11.
Okay. With an 11, that beats the DC. Who's rolling the perception check?
I'll roll perception.
Okay. DC of 10.
I rolled a 15, but my passive perception's a 5, so that's definitely like my bonus is a 5, so that's gonna be a dirty 20.
Perfect. You guys continue throughout the Maiden's Road, the Moon Maiden's Road, or the Silver Maiden's Road, whichever one you want to call it. Has multiple names. People call it by different things. You guys go through it for 4 more days, camping and doing the like. And you guys reach the town, or the outskirts of Harmont. As you do, you're kind of riding up after 5 days of long travel, kind of weary. You see it. Cottages and farmlands all throughout the space around you as the Sordian Alps open up into this large valley, as you see Dagar's Reach on the side, kind of pairing in with your travel. As you are on this road, and you see a large city that has 3 tiered walls in a circle, one on the outskirts of the entire kingdom, one on the inside, and then one on the inside of that. A 3-layered city with these massive stone walls that are kind of surrounding them. The gates into the city of Harmont Capital are guarded by massive stone walls that protect the 3 rings. Tall guard towers on each side with lions carved into the stone of each tower. Here we see approximately 20 Lions Watch guard presenting over the entrance of the sprawling 3-walled city capital. Do you guys proceed forward?
I'd like to pull myself back, because as I was up with Martin, as we were kind of leading the party, I'd like to pull myself back to Demir, because I know Demir is very uncomfortable coming to Harmont, and I just want to be there for emotional support.
Okay. As you guys are kind of riding in to the city proper, is there anything else you guys would like to do, or are you approaching?
I just look over at Nico. Did not expect to be here this soon.
I know. But what is it that you always tell me? We gotta make do with the hand that we're dealt, and, well, I mean, at least you're not doing it alone. And you're doing it on your own terms, and I'd like to look at the sword. Remember, you're in charge of who you are now. The past has no power over you anymore.
We'll see.
Okay. And we are hearing somebody take a leak off the side of the wall. You see one of the guards goes, "Oh!" and kind of pulls up his pants.
Damn,
and
they be pissing in Harmont,
yeah, they
dude.
just be pissing in Harmont. And as you guys are kind of approaching, you see this is the entrance into what's known as the Brass Ring District. There's not really districts in the city per se, but they are broken into the 3 rings. Waltz and Demir, you would know this. The rest of you might have heard this in passing, but I would assume all of you know of the different tiers. And you see that as the tiers go in, it's not that they are like elevated, but it's more just walls that are going forward. Yeah. And Urya, I should say in the chat, helped me think about the 3 tiers, or the 3 rings, I should say, instead of just districts. I think it was a good spin on it. So as you approach the brass ring, this is the living place of common folk in the city proper. Here we find cottages built close to one another, and some even stacked high like close-knit apartment living. The living quarters are packed in close, and the streets are well populated and sprawling with life and busybodies. As of right now, it is winter. It's approximately December 26th, as of this point. Approximately, give or take a day. Christmas doesn't exist in this world. But you will get to...
Lathandris?
Lathandris? Lathandris? Yes, he was born in a manger. Yeah. So you guys enter into the brass ring, and there you see that there are guards with kind of cuirasses of like this plate armor that has this insignia of the lion with the star above it, that is the symbol of Harmont, and it is emblazoned on with a midnight blue in white kind of accents to their undergarments that are removed from the cuirass itself. And you guys see these guards, and they're kind of ushering people in. Come on in! Come quick!
I'm a visual learner. Do we happen to have a picture of that emblem anywhere?
Not on my computer, but if anybody was looking at the symbol that I made today, here, let me see if I can pull it up on my phone and show with my camera. It probably won't focus in very much, but it is this. Come on, baby. Let me
Move your face.
I got
Yeah,
you,
my
BB.
face.
Hold on one second.
Yeah,
I
I
got
don't
you.
know.
Luckily, I have Twitter signed in on my phone, right?
Yeah, I can't sign in because I'm IP blocked. But if you have it, we can share the screen. I need to put it there. There it is. Yeah, this lion's mane and helm with this star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7 pointed star. Perfect. And that is what you see.
He worked so hard on it. I just had to show it
Yeah,
off.
I need to put the symbols of each nation. I need to make in Spark or in Photoshop stuff like that, and then put it there so that I can have it for all of you. But you see that is what the guards are kind of wearing at this point, and this is the Lion's Watch Guard. And so, do you all kind of enter into the city proper? The city is yours. Whatever you would like to.
I would have just my cloak up the entire time.
You do so.
I looked at Benjamin, kind of like with a questioning look, like arching my eyebrows, like, "How do you want to play this?"
Honestly,
What did you say?
oh, did not pick up.
No.
I looked at him and I said, honestly, there's no reason to play this any other way. This is not a game.
Then I look back at the guards. We have a message to deliver to the King of Harmont. We will be shown there immediately.
Wish to have an audience with the king. That does not come freely. Who sends you?
This is... I pull out the note. This note has the wax sealed, correct? If I remember correctly.
It does.
Does it have an imprint of like a house seal or something?
It has the seal of Harmont on it. The king's seal, which is the lion's head.
I reach down and I show him the picture, the seal. On the note I said, this is a very important message I must get to the king.
And she kind of takes the letter and looks at it. hands it back to you. He says, "All right, go send word to the Golden Ring." You see, he kind of gets onto a horse, and you see this is a squire of sorts. Chuck! And you see he begins taking off through the city proper. He says, where can we send for you when the king is ready?"
Thatcher's
Mr.
Rest.
Klaus. Oh, yeah.
Thatcher's Rest.
Thatcher's Rest. We will send for you there. Okay, and you guys begin heading towards the Thatcher's Rest.
Yeah.
Okay. So you begin kind of trotting along with your horses. Hold on. I'm sorry, I can't do all this at once. I need that
You're
trot.
good.
So the trot of the horses kind of comes back as you are trotting through. And as you do, you see on the left-hand side, after about a 10-minute ride, you see to the left is a wooden sign on a poorly constructed, in what was most likely a time of the proprietor's earlier years, built inexpertly with gathered stones fitted with thick layers of mortar and expanded upon in the decades since. A crude but sturdy wooden shelter built along the side of a tavern is stables with several animals. This isn't a stable for horses, but chickens, and you see there's a few cows kept for their dairy contributions. And you see that there's a sign on the side of it that says the Broadsword Pub. And you guys continue riding through. And after a while, to the right-hand side, you see a wooden sign that's kind of hanging by metal chains, and you see that they are rustic-looking. You see Thatcher's Rest Inn. You see its build and its door looks a little smaller than normal, but enough that you all could fit inside. Do you guys head in?
Yeah. I answer.
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. So, as you all head inside, the smells of roasted vegetables, stewing meat, sweet ales, and mistleaf pipe smoke mingle pleasantly, creating an intoxicating aroma that hangs heavy over the cozy establishment. The ceilings might hang a bit low for tall folk, but for the halflings that make up the majority of the inn's clientele and workforce, they seem perfectly content. A fire crackles pleasantly in the great stone hearth at the far end of the common room, packed with polished oaken tables and overstuffed furniture, into which many patrons find themselves sinking deeper and deeper as ale and pipeweed take hold. In one corner, an impromptu halfling band strikes up a tune with flutes and fiddles, the merry tune rising over the din of conversation, but never overtaking it. A rosy-cheeked barkeep with an ample belly bustles between tables with trays laden with tankards, plates brimming with food, jars of pickled vegetables, and buttered pastries. At the bar, another halfling woman is pouring ales and singing along with the halfling bards, her reddish hair tied into a tight bun with multiple loose strands sprouting from her gathered locks. This inn is bustling with happy folk. Welcome to the Thatcher's Rest.
I walk up to the barkeep. Pardon me.
How are you? What can I do for you?
I'm well, thank you. Duke Ray, he told us that we would have a place to stay here.
Oh, yes, you are the ones that the courier sent for.
Yes.
Yes, here are the keys to your rooms. If you go just up past... yes?
I know that... Is there a bed that's extra large? Do you have
We
a
can
friend
make
who-
accommodations, yes.
Very much, thank you.
We understand that not all of our clientele is halflings, yes.
I appreciate that.
She goes, absolutely.
What's on the menu for dinner tonight?
And she says, oh, for dinner, roasted chicken, and we've got some smoked pork on sourdough bread with a cut of cheddar cheese, and you can also get a fresh bread loaf straight from the local bakery with melted butter for an additional cost as well on the side.
If we could just get a platter for when we're finished with our rooms.
Absolutely.
and
I'll get it started for you.
And I say, will this be enough? And I hand 3 pieces of gold.
She goes, more than enough. Thank you very much. Also, your rooms were covered, so don't worry about it.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'd like to walk up to her, and I'd be like, kind of like matching Demir's like air of importance, even though Demir didn't like do that, but like he just like has this like commanding presence. I want to like lean over on the bar and be, thank you, and see that we're not disturbed. And I want to like lower my voice though, so I'm trying to like sound like, you know, and see that we're not disturbed. I appreciate it.
She goes, of course. Enjoy your stay.
Enjoy your stay. Damn it! Damn it!
You
It's
try,
like,
but
What are the rest of you doing as you enter?
I go and I sit at the bar and order a drink.
Okay, you see this halfling woman kind of nuzzles up next to the bar next to you and says, what will you be having? We have Halvarian Stout, the Might Bright Stout, we have Trickster's Ale from Ashmeyer, and we have Ebon Death Whiskey. Anything suit your fancy?
I'll get the Tricksters.
Trickster's Ale. It's an Ashmeyer Pale Ale. That'll be 3 copper. She begins pouring from a keg.
I grab some out and I put the 3 copper on the bar.
She hands it to you and she goes, enjoy.
Thank you. Just kind of sit there, sipping.
Okay.
I pop down next to Martin at the bar and I just say, just an ice water for me, thank you.
She goes, of course. Begins, and you see a large ice slab is kind of at the back of the bar, and she takes an ice pick, begins breaking it, putting it into a glass, and pouring from a well spout, and hands you the water.
Thank you. And I just put a couple of silver on the table for her.
You see she kind of yells out, Shay! We have an order for a platter. I need some pulled pork sandwiches and a couple of roasted chickens. You see she goes, I'm on it, dear. She goes, thank you. You see the other halfling woman kind of goes to the back and begins preparing the food.
As I'm
Is there
sitting
anything
there with Martin, I kind of just say, Martin, I have a question for you, of a medical question.
What's troubling you?
Are there any herbs or any kind of remedies you know of that help with hallucinations?
Giving or taking away?
For the moment, taking away.
Okay. Do I know of any?
Give me a medicine check.
17.
17. Luder mushrooms. Contrary to some of the other in the family of mushrooms, they quell hallucinations and kind of bring people grounded back, almost like a focus of sorts. Could probably pick them up from an herbalist shop in town.
I look at you and I say, what you're looking for is something called Luder mushrooms. They kind of just help quell the mind hallucinations. Probably find it at like an apothecary or something. Shouldn't be too hard to find.
Excellent. Thank you. That information helps me quite a bit.
Yeah, and if you don't like the taste of them, you give them to me, and I can make them a little easier to get down.
Well, considering the swill that we're drinking here, and in Doncaster, my palate can handle most anything at this point.
Just saying. Might not taste that good.
And I stop by and hand everybody a key to the respective rooms.
Here you are. And
Thanks.
Benjamin and I made arrangements for a larger bed.
I appreciate it. And my back also appreciates that.
Of course.
You guys see at this point the sandwiches kind of come. She leaves it there and she goes, I hope you enjoy. She
Thank
kind
you.
of walks back to the barkeep and kind of gives her a kiss on the cheek. And she returns the favor and she goes, all right, we have a couple more drink orders to be done. And she goes, I'm on it. And they begin pouring drinks. You guys eat, kind of have your fill of drink, and then the door swings open. You! The king is ready. And you see everybody just kind of looks over at all of you. Demirs, you kind of lean your head down with your cloak over.
Yeah.
You are to follow us to Galranon Keep.
Very well.
Let's go. You
And
guys,
I get up and follow.
I think I might stay here as you all go.
Who are you saying that to? Just all of us?
Yeah.
I'll come.
And then I'd like to
Not-
just chime
not
in.
feeling well.
He's not feeling too good. He mentioned it earlier. I'll probably stay with him to make sure he's okay and gets
No,
to
you
bed
should go.
safe in his old age. Nah,
You should-
it's
you
okay,
go.
Demir.
Go.
And
I'll
I
be
like to look at
fine.
him like,
See
okay.
the king. Live your life, young lad. I'll see you when you get back.
all right.
Well, if it's still bothering you when we get back, let me know.
I'll let you know.
okay.
I kind of just get up, push my chair in, and wait by the door for everyone.
Okay. I would say at this time, with the time that has passed, it is becoming evening. And so you guys kind of exit out, and it is a chilly winter night as you all kind of come out, get onto your horses, begin to trot. You see the Lion's Watch guard kind of looks towards you all, and he says, Stay on my tail. We'll be there in no time. And begins taking off. As you see, he begins to go quickly. You all follow suit?
Yes.
Okay. Perfect. So, as you guys go through the different walls, you see he kind of raises his hands up. The guard kind of lets you all through. As you see, Galranon Keep presents itself. Past the different tiers of buildings, you see it. Behind the outer battlements and sturdy walls of this castle dwelling, there sits as sturdy a structure as you've ever seen. It is in this place, the keep, that the rulers of the castle make their final defense in the times of trouble. A heavy iron portcullis in its gate separates the keep from the rest of the castle proper, and one can easily spot along its walls the brackets upon which heavy ballista and steaming pots of burning oil would be mounted. Waterproof barrels containing legions of crossbow bolts sit at each likely spot along the wall not covered by heavier fare. The banisters of Harmont hang from all corners of this massive keep. It is the home of the Galranon bloodline, and its last living son, King Sidon Galranon, also known to his people as King Agarwain the Bloodstained. And as you guys enter in, you see these large golden doors open. You see, he says, Leave your horses out here. Obviously. Do you guys walk in?
Yes.
Okay. As you guys enter, you see bright lights in this hall. Waltz, you've heard of this hall before. This is the Hall of Light. And as you enter in, you can see that there are multiple suits of armor in a large table in 2 throne seats at the far end as you kind of entered into this labyrinth of this keep following the guard.
What's the condition of the armor? Is it like just trying to like get
It
an
is
idea for
decadent. It is beautiful armor. Some of the best handwork you've ever seen. Best
Is there-
armory work you've seen.
Battle damage on it, or is this just like
No.
straight up like
No.
decorative? Like they just
This
stuck
is
it- oh,
this
wow.
is decorative. And you see in this beautiful castle with blue and white accents and guard towers jetting out from all four corners, this massive 4-story castle is the dwelling place of the king and his most trusted advisor. Here the laws of Harmont are written and upheld. The Treaty of Radiance was drawn and signed here with King Maxildane of Asarius in this very hall. It is here, the elegant halls of light, beamed with power and radiance, where decisions have been made for the kingdom of Harmont. The keep was said to have been constructed by the help of an angel of Lathander, and here is where King Galranon makes the decisions in the war against the Blood King Azazel. As you guys approach, you see multiple figures standing by this throne, and you see a figure that is looking out towards a window to the coast behind the throne. And you see a slender figure, elvish, young, much younger than you anticipated for most of you. Waltz, you understand how young King Sidon is. And as you enter in, the guard looks towards you, stops, and bows as you see these figures that are surrounding him look towards 4 of you, sorry, because Demir stayed behind. Your Majesty, they've arrived. And you see this figure turns, long blonde hair, braided towards the ends, with symbols of Lathander, in a certain robe-like construction of garments, with leather straps also around, and a large breastplate of Lathander's light. And you see encrusted inside of it is a gem radiating with light, and a crown, not overdone, but well suited, and the gems very elegant along them, all beaming with light. He looks up. I am told you bring me news from the north. And when the voice echoes throughout the chamber, it is young, almost teen-like. And you see this ethereal face, these bright golden eyes, these pointed ears, and this very beautiful-looking figure steps around the throne and then sits. Tell me, what news do you bring from the north?
I'd like to bow, just off the rip once he speaks, like just like from like standing straight up from the waist down, like just with my like fist in my palm,
Okay,
all the way down to my waist.
you bow. He looks at the rest of you.
I do a quick little bow and I say, Your Majesty, I am Waltz, former court wizard of Doncaster.
Welcome into my halls, Waltz. And you all are?
I do a short, like, kind of stiff bow. Name's Martin.
I'd like to take my stand up and straighten my robes. I'm Rico.
I too, I bow my head and I say, I am Benjamin Grimwald.
I am King Agawain the Bloodstained. Approach me. I will not bite.
I walk up and I reach in and pull out the letter. And I say, King Agar. Wait, King Agar, wait. Wait, question. Is this is it like definitively like two separate?
Two
Like a
separate
full name?
thrones.
No,
No, his
name.
his name
His-
is King Sidon Galranon. He's known to the people as King Agarwain. Agarwain in Elvish translates to the Bloodstained.
Okay.
Give me a
I say-
history check, Benjamin. At advantage.
Okay. That's good because I have a -2. 12.
A 12. Rumor is at first it was used to cast down upon him, as he was made king at the year 100. He's only 100 years old. At this time, he's about 115. He's young for a king, but he's called Agarwain because that is what the people said when he was brought back after his family was ambushed by the Galgilian horde, and his entire noble family and royalty were slaughtered, and he was found covered in their blood. It was first used as an insult, but he made it his title. And you see he kind of looks towards you. Do you present the letter?
No.
As you walk up, you see a few guards stand next on the sides of the throne. And he puts a hand up and he says, "He's all right. I do not sense any deceit from him." You see he kind of looks towards one who's in elegant blue and white armor. "Vice Lord, bring me the letter." You see he walks forward and holds his gauntlet out to you.
I hand him the letter.
"For you, your majesty." He bows. He takes it. You see he pulls a dagger from the side of the throne and cuts the wax seal. Looks down at this note. About 40 seconds passes. He folds it. "Contact King Maxildane at once. Forces move against Harmont with legions of men. His battle with the Draconians is over. We must move swiftly, summon the dukes, and summon the barons. You all do not leave the city. What has happened to Sir Aegon?"
I'd like to step forward.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I witnessed his final moments, sire, and I'd like to bend my head. He did not die in vain. He's the one who gave me the letter. And I want to point to Benjamin.
He looks towards you, Benjamin. He says, "You all have given us valuable time. Blood King Azazel rides against Harmont. We will be ready to meet him. The war is coming to an end." You see he stands. "I will send for you when I need you. Thank you for bestowing upon me this news. You should consider all of you saviors of Harmont. When the time is right, I will bestow upon you each a gift." And you see a tear, without blinking, streams down his face. "May Lathander guide our way. May the light purge the darkness." You see, as he kind of moves back towards the window, you see him just kind of bury his head into his chest as he takes a big, deep breath. You see this as you begin to leave the halls. Is there anything else you would like to do?
I'd like to look at Benjamin. Well, you didn't even care that Lady Egarwin was the one that gave you the letter. I mean,
That is not
and then you
true.
gave it to me. Oh,
Eghorn.
That is why he cried, because he learned of this information. Had the letter come by Lady Agarway.
There is no Lady Agarway.
Oh, Lady
Eghorn.
Yeah, Eghorn. Yeah, sorry, that's what I'd like to retcon what I said. It was
No worries.
about Lady Eghorn. Because I witnessed him die. But
Yes.
the letter was given to Benjamin from Lady Eghorn.
Yes.
I'm fairly certain that she is also dead.
Benjamin actually does not know that. You guys do.
Yeah. And then I'd like to well, she is with her husband, of course. I mean, unfortunately.
This is not shocking news to me. She was bleeding profusely.
What do you think's gonna happen?
It was exceptional amount of blood.
I want to look amongst the party. What do you think's gonna happen? And what does he mean, saviors of Harmont? I wonder what that letter said.
He said that Blood King Azazel's marching on Harmont.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably.
that's the gist of it.
Yeah, and I mean, he said that we're not allowed to leave.
Yeah.
As you
I
guys
guess we
are
just kinda-
leaving, as you are leaving the halls, you hear a pained scream. Fuck! From the throne room. Your Highness, it's okay. And he goes, I'm fine. You
The
guys see
boy
the
king-
doors close behind you. You guys have a
As-
moment to yourself.
As they close, I just say, and thus the boy king realizes the severity of the situation and his role. He's but a child. A third my age, yet he has the responsibility of an entire kingdom on his shoulders. I do not envy the boy.
I couldn't imagine that.
He is loved by his people, but that love and respect will be tested sorely in the next several days, weeks, months, depending on what happens. He calls us saviors of Harmont, but that may be a tad premature.
Well, he said we're not allowed to leave, so I'm sure he'll call us up again.
Boy has seen more than most of us will see in a lifetime. I think that the way you perceive time in conjunction with our lives does not matter. 115 years is still 115 years. He has seen time pass longer than I have and experienced more.
Good
And
point.
some things I could say we have experienced the same. And yet his wisdom does surpass mine, as his years also surpass mine.
We do have to be careful. Being here in Harmont, well, we're not home anymore. And it seems that we found ourselves in a place that's, well, we're on the brink. And, well, my position is with Demir. He's not comfortable here. That means neither am I.
Nico, you will find that in these times, comfort is a luxury that we'll not be able to afford for much longer.
think he's starting to understand that there is no comfort anywhere you rest your head. If you remember correctly, we had our home invaded. There is
And
no
destroyed.
comfort there either.
The
Yeah.
sooner you think you slip into the bed that you call your own, the sooner you find a knife in your throat by the morning.
I have no idea what that means, but it sounds right.
I want to like my face to like. I'm starting to understand that like, it doesn't end with this. Like, I was thinking, yeah, our home got destroyed. We're going to get the king. He's gonna come and kick some ass. And now I'm realizing, oh fuck, like, this isn't the end. And I want to like look at him and, we're not going home after this, are we?
We have no home to go to.
Nico, and I put
They're
my
all
hand
coming
on
here.
Yeah, I put my hand on the side of his neck and his shoulder, and I say, Nico, the home is where the ale is.
If only that were really true, wasn't it? And I'd like to.
It's
I guess,
I say, it's always been true.
I'd like
There's
to
no
stand-
reason to fret in this knowledge.
I'd like.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'd like to, as he's saying this, I'd like to stand up straight and just like start walking away, like very shook, very visibly like not happy. I was not ready for this.
Do you guys return to Demir?
Before
I
we,
don't want,
before
I
we
don't
return,
want to exclude him. Continue.
Yep. Before we return, I put an arm on Benjamin's shoulder, like a hand on Benjamin's shoulder, and I say, "There's two boys within these walls that are growing up rather quickly, isn't it?"
I think I missed it.
Oh, okay. I just like I had an arm on my shoulder and just say, "That's two boys in these walls that are growing up rather quickly, isn't it?"
I think they've grown more than they know. More than we know. It's hard information to swallow. But the fact is, things have always been this way, and they will always be this way.
I envy Nico's innocence.
I do not. If I did, I would be lying.
I kind of just look at him and I'm like, "No, I'm not sure I know what you mean," and I start walking and following Nico out.
I'm just.
Okay.
Am I just the last person standing there in the hall?
You guys are saying this as you're walking out of the keep.
Yeah.
So you guys return to Demir at the Thatcher's Rest. You guys go into Demir's room where you guys are all present. Demir, what are you doing?
Sharpening my greatsword. I know there's going to be a fight, so I'm just getting ready. And I have incense burning, and I'm praying as I do.
What are you saying in your prayer as they enter?
Guide our path. Let it be bright. Let it be safe.
As
As I took off, I'm coming through the door first, just so we know. And I see him sharpening his greatsword, and I want to make like eye contact with him. And Demir would immediately know that I have been crying.
you guys all enter the room.
How did it go?
As well as expected.
We were told to stay put.
Are you all heroes of Harmont now?
And I want to say like really like almost bitter. Saviors.
What's next?
We wait.
Great.
Feeling better?
Never better.
Go to my
Benjamin, how do you
room.
feel?
I stretch. I am feeling moderate. Nothing for me has changed in the past 5 days. Maybe a little sore on my back. But other than that, I am okay.
Well, if we're just going to wait, might as well enjoy it.
Wanna go get a
I
drink?
agree.
First round's on me.
To
go.
the tavern.
You guys leave the room, and our view follows you down the stairs and out the small window pane of this cracked open window back towards the keep. And we see King Galranon, tears streaming down his face, alone in the throne room. Father, what would you have done? In my ignorance, did I start war to avenge your name and put the lives of all of my people at risk? Have I been blinded? Do I simply let darkness take hold of Phaedron? Do I sit alone and wait for my kingdom to fall into ruin after all you've done to hold it into the splendor of Lathander? I wish so much that I could speak to you. I don't know what to do. My people are dying. My nights are falling. What am I supposed to do? Yes. I will send for aid. I will unite the other kingdoms. My emissaries spread throughout the realm. We cannot let this darkness win. I will see the sword of radiance pierce through the heart of every darkness. I will see them blood-stained in my people, bathed in light. I am the king of Harmont, and I will unite the people of Phaedron, one banner, riding into the north. In your name, Lathander, guide us in a path of light, burning radiance peering through all darkness. Clothe us in your presence. May my mind be swift and my blade sharp. The war continues. And his eye meets our view, as our viewpoint zooms in on his face, streaked with tears. As he stands up from his throne. And that is where we will end the session. Because there was no combat and you all roleplayed so well, you will all have a point of inspiration, not a die of inspiration, but a point, a reroll that you can use for next session. I want to thank everybody for hanging out with us. We are now going into our Rose and a Thorn. That's where we talk about things we liked about the session, favorite part of other people's roleplay, favorite part of our own, and we're going to make it snappy so that we can end by 10. So, if you all would like, we're at the 3-hour mark exactly. Take it away.
Before we do that, I just want to ask, I didn't use my 2 inspiration die. Do those roll over to the next session? Or are we,
inspiration die, I will say, because there wasn't really a time for you to use them, your inspiration dice can roll over into the next session.
Ooh.
Hey, then. I would like to go first because I have to poop.
I have to also.
And I need to eat something because I feel like I'm gonna throw up.
Okay.
Rose, I think that each of our characters are being played well. I think that the role play with each character is, I won't say seamless because that doesn't feel like the right term, but like it feels like everyone's well adjusted into their character and playing as the character, not just playing a character.
Yes.
That makes sense. Thorn, I didn't really have one. We didn't really do too much as far as combat. Roleplay was good. Story's been good. I don't really have a Thorn. I like the introduction of the king. And with a very short amount of time, there's been a lot of development into the character already. So it could be very interesting with the war and all that coming into the story. Favorite part of my role play, my interaction with the Duke. I really liked that. That was fun. Favorite part of someone else's role play. I also liked Mike's interaction with the Duke. So I think that was cool.
Okay, who's next?
I love you guys. I have to go.
Nobody.
Go Dookie. Go Dookie, baby. Go Dookie.
Love you, dude.
Love you guys.
See ya.
My Rose is same as last time. I think the roleplay is really good, and it feels like John said, it feels like we are playing our character as our characters rather than just like setting up to play a character. Not to be redundant to what he said, but I really like that. I also really like how you kind of gave like the visuals of entering the keep. That was very nice. I liked that a lot. Yeah, that painted a very nice picture in my head. So that's probably got to be my Rose for the session. My Thorn, don't really have one. I think everything went super good. Favorite part of my role play, I would say, is my interaction with Nico when we were in camp. I really liked that. And then favorite part of someone else's role play, I really, really like the dynamic of the Duke with Waltz. It's always really fun to listen to.
Love it. Who's next?
My Rose would be, again, everybody's roleplay just feels natural. My Thorn is I've been tired this entire session. So, favorite part of my roleplay was between myself and Cyril Ulrich. That, or yeah, that, and then my favorite of somebody else's was probably Benjamin with the Duke.
Beautiful. Who's next?
Mike, you raised your hand first, so I'll let you
Oh,
go.
I just hit an okay.
Oh, you hit
to
that?
right,
Oh, cool.
I like raised shit. I was just like, let's go.
I loved the session. I love that we're 3 sessions in and like the role play is heavy. There's a lot of emotional investment in every character. Like I'm really like, fuck. Like I'm like ooh, like I'm trying to peer beyond the veil of like each character, like, ooh, what's happening there? Like, I want to know. I really want to know. I only have one thorn. There was a couple moments where I myself was like trying to talk, and then I ended up talking over other people, and that was my mistake. And I like that's something I'm gonna be more attentive to in future sessions. So that's my thorn for myself. I have 2 roses for other people's roleplay. First being Mike's solo interaction between the book is like that like little development. I'm really liking that little like Easter egg into like his character, you know, trying to peer beyond the veil. But the one that sold me, the one that it's like the cake for this session, that really just like, fuck, like it just hit me like heavy, and I was just like, dude, this is it. Like, oh my god. As well as walking into the tavern, and Demir is sharpening his sword, and like his sword, and he's sitting there, and just like his like demeanor is different. You know what I mean? It's like there's a very noticeable shift in the way that he played his character to that, like, oh, here's like almost like disdain for the situation. Huh. So you realize now, here was a Harmont. Haha. Welcome to what I've been living with. Because it doesn't feel like anything. You know what I mean? Like an empty title, and that was just so like. Like I got emotional like feeling it. I was just like,
yeah,
I loved it. It was so good. So yeah, for me that was it for the session. Like that right there was like what made this a 10 out of 10 session for me. So I'm very excited. I loved my interaction for myself with Martin, and like I just need to be able to keep some quiet in my head, you know, like really playing into that role, and my innocence showing through it, like the gravity of the situation. I'm like, oh fuck, I wasn't ready for this. Like this isn't really what I was planning on. Like I got my own shit to deal with, and now I'm doing this, like a little too heavy. And I'm kind of starting to kind of get an understanding of Demir, like why this is so weighted on him. You know, it wasn't just delivering a letter. This is long lasting situation. So yeah, and then the way you played that king all the way up to the end was just really excellent.
Thank you.
Really, really excellent. Very excited. So yeah, dude, it can't honestly like sucks that this is a bi-week. I love that it's a bi-weekly session because like I do get really to flesh out my character, and we get to text back and forth and really plan and like know the role play. But man, I just can't. I'm itching to roll the bones again. Like I want to play, dude. This is so good. I love this campaign so much, so dearly. And that's it.
I'm excited. Mike.
This shit sucked. No.
You guys all had fun? Fuck. Okay.
This shit hella dumb. Let's go. 0 out of 10, baby.
And
Fuck
that's the
this
Dungeon
shit.
Hunter's promise.
And that's the Dungeon Hunter's promise, baby. I don't even like any of you. Let's fucking go. No, Rose, this was actually hella sick. This rocked. Love a good nothing but roleplay sesh. Fucking so good. Loved it. Top tier shit from everybody. Thorn, this shit fucking sucked. No, Thorn, don't have one. Favorite part of my roleplay, I just like fleshing out Spooky Waltz with what's going on with his stuff. It's a lot of fun, and it's getting more intense, and can't wait to take more spells in the future. I got some ideas. Favorite part of somebody else's roleplay, I just like Demir getting like more and more like unnerved as he's like back in Harmont, and more just like, I don't want to fucking be here. Demir is actually like, yo, this shit hella sucks. Like, that's actually how he feels right now.
Yeah. 100%.
He's there sharpening his sword like, yo, this shit not chill, dude. What's good? Yeah, I like that, and I like Nico coming to the realization of like, oh.
This is the easiest part of it, is pretty much what he's, yeah.
You're like, oh, we went through the tutorial. We're in the game now. Like, oh, gotcha. Yeah, I like that's character growth.
Thank you. I really
Baby.
appreciate it. I
No.
playing someone young and dumb is like I tried, like, from our very first session that we played together so many years ago. That was something that I tried to like bring forth, and I just didn't really have the skill and foresight to do. So I really feel like this is the embodiment of the character that I'd seen in that first session when we were supposed to go into Avernus. This is this is it.
Well, if you want more practice, Elsewhere Season 2. Whoever wants in is playing a fucking teenager. So gonna be
You want to send us off?
gonna be hella dumb.
Okay, my turn. Rose. I understand that combat is a huge part of D&D, but God, I love some good character development and some good roleplay. And also, traveling, rolling well with your travels and stuff. You had an encounter, could have been a combat, would have been really fucked, but was navigated perfectly, went well, and also added some nerves to certain characters. I will not spoil anybody's stuff, but as we're getting closer and closer to civilization, you're starting to realize the big picture, and I think that's the core concept of this episode, was there's this huge overarching, okay, we gotta get to Harmont, and that's it. And then you get to Harmont and you interact with these characters, you interact with the king, and like Nico said, we're not going home, are we? Like, this is it. We're in it now. Not many people get an audience with the king or see him deal with what he's having to deal with. Obviously, the war's been going on for the last 10 years. You're starting to see bigger pictures. You're starting to see the world open up. It's very interesting. My rose for each of you, Waltz with the book. I'm just going to tag you guys real quick. Waltz with the book, incredible. Martin in his nature and finding different things and allowing me to come up with some cool, like, alchemist stuff that I can use for other characters in the same world and stuff like that really helps me out. So I love it. I love Martin's character in that sense. Nico understanding that this is much bigger than he thought, and that this is just the beginning. Oh, it's almost like that non-meta, the character understanding, like, oh, we're about to do some things, huh? We're about to do some things, and this safety that I've been living in, this safety net is gone, and I'm on a tightrope thousands of feet in the air. This is overwhelming. And that's how I wanted this session to feel for all of you, was overwhelming. Benjamin, I think the interaction between him and the Duke, and you understanding the different walks of life, where he's like, I don't care for royalty, I don't care for these people, but also seeing Benjamin see a king and understand, I'm bowing. We didn't have, that awkwardness of, I bow to no king. There wasn't any of that. Benjamin was like, I know where I am, and I know what's going on here. And the opposing views of Benjamin and Waltz, where it's like, well, these boys are both growing up. One's a king and one is our friend. And he's like, I feel like they have both grown up more than we think. And I think there's the tagline on there that's not said, where he's like, and I think we're going to see how much they can grow in such a short amount of time, because shit's about to get real. For Demir, it's sticking true to his character and not wanting to go see the king, not wanting to do that for whatever past reasons he has. He made it very clear, I just don't want to go. And it's like, you guys established this whole route to get to the king. It was of great importance. And then for Demir to be like, so let me guess, you are heroes of Harmont? Then Nico saying, saviors. And he goes, great. There's a weight to being somebody that the king recognizes. There's a heavy weight. And I think I'm excited. I'm very excited to see where that goes. Favorite part of my own roleplay, this is the first time I've gotten to play the king. This is a character that I made early on when I was creating the different kingdoms and the different factions, and I'm really happy with how he came across. Because it is this, you feel that regent, you know what I mean? Like that elegance of like, oh my god, we're in the throne room of a king right now. But at the end of the day, it's just a kid. And it's that heavy weight of Benjamin also bringing up, yeah, but he's lived 110 years. You know what I mean? So, like, he's a kid by elven standards, and yes, the weight on him is tremendous, but he lived 100 years of life in his father's shadow, and now this is the world that he has. This is the weight, and that's where Waltz comes in and goes, it is a heavy burden, and I do not envy the boy. Because Waltz is significantly older than him as an elf. And so it is... It's Waltz showing that parallel of, dude, he's still just a kid. I know he may be 110. He's still just a kid. And I think a lot of the people in the kingdom see him like that, and they see the decisions that he's made thus far. And like Walt said, he is beloved by his people, but that is going to be tested as cities are sacked, hamlets are destroyed, lives are ruined, people are killed. It's going to be interesting to see how this campaign plays out and how it affects Phaedron in the grand scheme of things. I'm very excited.
I got a huge King Theoden vibe with how you played him. Like, very, like, with, like, the gravity of the situation and, like, the solemnness, but also, like, the almost bitterness of, like, the role that the king is in himself, so.
Absolutely. I'm very excited for our next Saturday session. On Wednesday, we will be having the season finale of the Pirates of Eberron campaign. So I'm very interested to see how that goes. Mike,
Hey,
will you be available?
I'm fucking off on Wednesday, baby.
Let's go. Let's go. That's happening. We also have Elsewhere Season 2, and I have a little thing that I am cooking up. We did not do a Halloween one-shot this year. We were all going to dress up, but I think all of us are just super busy. And also we just had our last week, our Battle Royale that was a whole lot of fun. We missed Ray and Mike, but we had a very, very wild Battle Royale that did not end in the traditional sense, but it was a lot of fun. But with that being said, I am Trevor. I am the Dungeon Master for this campaign. This is Dungeon Hunters. I want to thank my cast for playing along with me tonight and doing excellent with your roleplay. I'm extremely impressed with all of you, and I can't wait to do this again. And we will see you next time. Kronk and Brawls.
Crocker Brawls.